Welcome back, guys. So this is another video of amazing things that you can find in our own backyard in the United States. For this trip, it's just Mom and I. We've already seen where we went and ran the 50th Tucson Marathon. Today we're headed out to the Saguaro National Park. There are two parts to the park. There's a west side and an east side. Today we headed to the west, where there's more trails to hike up and see more cactuses, versus the east side. There's only a few trails that you can actually hike on. It's mostly just a scenic drive that you can go over there. So the national park is famous for the saguaro cactuses. They live anywhere up to about 200 years, if not more. They grow really slow, so most cactuses can go up to about 40 feet, but by the age of 95 to 100 years of age, they only grow up to about 16 feet, and at that point they might start growing their first arm. But not every cactus will actually grow an arm, some don't grow any at all. So by 200 years old, the cactus has reached its full height, reaching towards about 45 feet again. And how these cactuses actually get their water, they will send a root deep into the ground to collect the water, but most of its root system is really short, not very deep into the ground, and it mostly spreads out. So, but these guys are pretty tough for the desert. Their skin is really tough. It's kind of waxy, so it keeps in all the moisture. And there's tubes running all up and down these cactuses to feed the water through. But you definitely don't want to touch these things, because even touching them can damage their skin. And there just isn't as many here as there used to be back in the earlier 1900s. And that's just primarily just due to not as much rainwater and not as much trees to provide shade. So here's a little bit of an interesting fact. If you're one of those that like to watch the old Western videos, depending on where the video says that it's at within the United States, if it's got these cactuses, it was filmed in this area. There's actually an old Western town movie set outside of the west side of the park. Unfortunately, it was closed at the time. I'm not for sure if it's gonna open back up. We're a little bummed that it was closed because we were wanting to check it out and make Dad a little jealous because he is all about the Western videos. So if you see a video with these cactuses, more than likely it was filmed outside of Tucson. So I gotta give a good shout out to Trish. She came up from Green Valley to join us for dinner. She made us get the big one margaritas, which was definitely a much needed medication because my legs were feeling it from just running the race. The next day hiking up the rocks. That's why I was using the trekking pole because it was very helpful because my legs were pretty short. So we had a good time with Trish, and we want to thank her for coming out and joining us and actually letting us come stay with her. So it was a great trip. We enjoyed having some extra company with us, especially from somebody that I worked with who moved out to Arizona. It was really good to see her and make all my coworkers super jealous that I got to see her. So we headed out back towards the West District of the national park. We found out one day on our way headed back into Tucson that there was a lot of people heading out right about sunset time, and we figured out really quick why. It was a really beautiful view with the rocks changing colors with the sun shining on it. So we decided that we were going to take an afternoon and check out the sunset and watch it, and it was really beautiful, and lots of people come out to check it out. So if you ever make yourself way out to Tucson, I would definitely go and find a good spot to watch the sunset. It's not too far from away of the old time Tucson. You can actually maybe barely see it down by in the valley part of this. There's the old Tucson, but you have to look really closely to even try to see it. Today we went to Sabino Canyon. There's a couple different options you can do at this place. You can hike to the trailheads and hike in the park if you want, or you can pay a fee to ride along a cart system that they have that will take you along a scenic drive. It takes about an hour to do a round trip. It was definitely worth it, as we got to see the really good views of this place without having to drive ourselves, because a lot of times I miss some things as I drive, so this was a great option. One thing I don't really mind as much about this park is the signing for the trailheads and the directions on your hikes is not very helpful. They're really small, and sometimes it was hard to find those signs. We had gotten lost a few times on the trail that we did. But please don't tell Dad, because I'm sure he'll get a little worried. But hey, you know, if he watches this video, sorry Dad, we got lost, but hey, we found our way. I like this recreational park. You can actually get in for free if you have the National Park Pass. It's a 1 year from your purchase that it expires. If you're a veteran, you can actually get a lifetime membership for free. If you are 62 years of age, you can actually get one for a lifetime membership as well. And anybody in the car with you, when you take your card, is free to go in with you. It's a really good option. And the more parks you visit during their time of having the pass, it feels like you get it for cheaper and cheaper every time. Sorry, the veteran part, it's actually an annual pass every year, but it's still free for every year. And these passes are only valid for national parks. They're not valid for state parks.